Mr. Alfred Ndemo. Karibu sana, you are seated. Honorable members, before us is Dr. Alfred Ndemo, nominee to the Department of Trade, Tourism, Industry and Marketing, who was scheduled to appear before this committee at 2 p.m. today, Friday, 4th November 2022. At this time, I requested the clerk to administer the oath.
I, Dr. Alfred Ndemo, do solemnly swear that the information you shall give the committee on appointments shall be the truth and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Thank you. I am Dr. Philip Machuki Nyanumba, Speaker, Kisii County Assembly. With me, I am with the leadership of the House. From my right, I have the majority, and from the left, the minority leaders. So I'll start with the majority.
Daktari, habari ya jioni. Kwa majina naitwa Muracha Henry, kiranja walio wengi katika bunge la Kisii na mjumbe wa Basi Central Sana.
My name is Alfred Ndemo.
Good afternoon, Daktari. I'm Lilian Dekerari Omodi, member of this committee.
Ismail Matondra, a member of the Parliament Committee.
Good afternoon, This is one member of the committee. I'm sure.
This is a member of the committee. Welcome again.
Good afternoon, Dad. My name is Leo Dino, a member of this committee.
Good afternoon. My name is Felix Ombati, member of this committee.
Good afternoon, Daktari. Msinga jana ni msinga wote tutajinodi ile.
My name is Dennis Obacha, Judge General, and Mr. Speaker, I want to declare that I know Dr. Ndemo for a long time.
At this time, I want to invite the clerk to introduce the secretary.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Dr. Alfred Ndemo. My name is Omwe. I'm headed on the Assembly. May I introduce Madam President? She's the committee class in charge of this committee. Besides you, we have a team of staff who form part of the secretariat of this committee. So I want to.
Thank you. I now invited the nominee to introduce himself and make a brief statement of himself for like 5 minutes. The committee. You are welcome.
Chairman, Mr. Speaker, sir. My name is Dr. Alfred Ndemo. I come from Judge North. I am married, I have a family, children. I hold several accreditations. I have a PhD in public management. I have a master's in development management. I have postgraduate certificates of occupations, both local and international. I have been in the public service as a public servant in provincial administration, lived with the system from a bureau to senior assistant secretary. I went to work in international improvement organizations like World Bank, then moved to teaching as a lecturer in various universities, and finally, until recently, I was working in a partnership organization of the UN, which was dealing with investments, trade,
and development. Mr. Chairman, I need to declare that I have participated in politics before as an aspirant, but unfortunately in 2022, I never participated in active candidature as a candidate. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Thank you, Tari. At this time, let the nominee to submit his original certificates and the documents for verification by the committee members. Honourable members, having checked the nominee's original documents, I now open the floor to start close examining the suitability of the nominee. And I will start with myself. Dr. Can you tell this committee your financial and at the same time explain the committee your current and anticipated sources of income?
I have a net worth of 80 million initially, both from Muro and Muro assets. I own parcels of land, and I own a property that is mortgaged. And I do my family. The expected incomes are for my pieces of land, which is rented as well.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. I now open the floor to the members who wish to set to speak to the committee. Honourable Minority Leader.
Dr. Nice to have you around. I wish you the best. Now, you're going to be the CEC in charge of market development. Peace basically is a commercial and agricultural coverage. Basically, those are the two activities that KISS do. Everywhere you go, and when you went abroad, I'm sure KISS were trading or doing. Even in America, here there is a city they call Minnesota, where they are growing chinsal and some vegetables. So, briefly, what three things will you do to ensure that you promote trade for Kisii County by developing markets and by creating an environment that will be able to do it? Another issue, tourism is not per se very prevalent in Kisii. But you know, Kisii is a very attractive tourist destination. The Manga Hills, the Sameta Hills. Then from here, people can go to Masai Mara and they can go to Lake Victoria. What activities will you do to promote tourism? And lastly, maybe in terms of also tourism, if we were to bring back the head of Montenegro, one kingdom or so, and put it somewhere, maybe the Wazungu will come to visit, maybe along that one, can make a comment because you're going to to the Wazungus there, you know, where they're keeping that head. Then lastly, the issue of trade. The trade licenses, particularly liquor licensing, is under the docket. I am concerned that there are too many bars around learning institutions. Like if you go to Kiss University, there are more drinking places than they are eating. So what will you do to safeguard this young generation that are doing, that are really getting spoiled by this, together with this, how do you call this, speaker, these character kids from China and other places. So to me, that is what I'm asking for now. Very briefly, you can be able to, that's what it is you're talking about.
Thank you, Chairman, and Mheshimiwa for the questions. I think critical for us is the question of policy. For us to improve on markets, we need to have a guideline, a policy document that will help us to safeguard the markets and protect our products, so that we are able to know what happens where and does what. That should be able to outline some of the issues that are very critical in the marketing section. That means also in that policy we should be able to have on the management of markets, how do we manage markets? Where do we look at the excesses? Who does what? Who doesn't, and what are the limits? How do we know that? The other thing in terms of markets is also about a consultative process. There should be consultation between the stakeholders in the market, so that whatever decision that we come up with is a decision that is acceptable. Because sometimes the laws are not made for animals, they're made for people. So we need to make sure there is a consultative process that will involve the people on markets. The other question you asked is about tourism. I also still go back to policy and use the word deliberate effort, because as political groups, we don't have a very serious tourism bench. But what we should do is to have a deliberate effort in trying to harness some of the opportunities for tourism in this country. With the likes of Otenyo and others, those are very good at things we do. We can also deliberately try to partner with the urban partners and other private sector organizations that are interested to promote our tourism sector. In terms of alcohol, the key question there is about creating opportunities for these young persons who are also getting involved. So there should be a deliberate effort also in terms of coming up with a policy instrument that actually talks about what do we do in the field, how do we educate them to make sure they don't engage in those activities. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. I only have one question. And I know that Terry, you have got a privilege to maybe visit Dubai. And Dubai is both a trade and a tourism attraction, let's say, city. As Kisii County, what do you think we can borrow from the growth of Dubai that we can implement in our town or in our county to make it a trade or tourism attraction center?
Thank you, Chairman. Mheshimiwa, I think critical for us is infrastructure development. We need to make sure that we have more advanced infrastructure where investors will be more comfortable to come and invest. About training people will be coming to Kisii to come and do it. Ease of access of facilities, also things to do with acceptance in terms of local persons, involving people in participation, making those decisions. And also it's also important to come up with a deliberate effort on how we can influence the government, local, to barriers in terms of trade from other counties, and making sure that we allow other counties to come and do that. And also making sure that the facilities are available, health infrastructure is there, talk about roads, talk about communication and energy. Those are very critical for any business to come and go.
Yes.
Okay, Dr. I have one question. So when you talk of globalization, it is international implications that can arise from the interchange of the various goods at the same time, the various commodities. So my question is, if at all you are going to be given this chance or this opportunity to work, can you be able to tell us how are you going to address the various pull factors, especially on trade?
Those problems that cuts across. And one of the key issues that I will be able to look at is in terms of partnerships with organizations that are dealing with globalization. And also talking about trusted trading with other partners in other areas, making sure that we create a conducive environment for other organizations to trade with us and for us to trade with them.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd like to ask you a question. As we understand, trade and tourism improves the economy of the county, improves the economy of the county, and sometimes we can be tempted to concentrate within the town and improve the infrastructure. And yet we understand that the poverty index in Kisii, and especially in the rural areas, is very high. So I would like to ask, how are you going to support and bring leverage on micro and small and medium enterprises, especially from the rural communities?
Thank you, Mheshimiwa. The disparity in terms of the various levels of trading, call them medium entrepreneurs, small scale entrepreneurs, and large entrepreneurs, comes because of opportunities. Some of the small scale entrepreneurs, they have a disadvantage in terms of accessing facilities like credit and also even infrastructure. As a minister, if this committee permits me, I would deliberately decide to reactivate perhaps a credit scheme, a facility to facilitate those who cannot access credit to access it. I would deliberately also get into making to sure that I negotiate with the other stakeholders who can assist small entrepreneurs to participate in this kind of thing. And also making sure that we have a level play field for both the bigger entrepreneurs and the small entrepreneurs, so that we don't have those ones feel that they are squeezed out of the market. And finally, marketing some of the products of some of our small scale entrepreneurs.
Wish you all the best.
Thank you.
I'm not that you have come this far. Now, let me, you were nominated. When the Kisii County Assembly, and I was a chair under the department, there is an act on the credit scheme which will implement. So, I want to ask you, the traders in Kisii, there are so many business licenses, one after another, that hinders these small traders in their business, especially in nature and sellers of the municipality. What do you do to ensure that we are actually relevant business licenses? And like when we have so many of them, some from the national government, some from the county government, and like, so that we can be able to stimulate their businesses. Number two, is political. Now I think is as entrenched in the national government. The ASA narrative. Narrative. Which plans we have in place that you can complement in the national government's efforts to uplift the Mamambogas, the Bodabodas, and the like, so they are able to do their businesses in Kisii County in case you are approved.
Thank you, Chairman and Commissioner. One of the hindrances of any business is a combination of so many requirements. So as Minister, I will be requesting, if I'm allowed, I will be requesting your lordships to assist me in enacting a law or a legislation that actually comes up with a single market, so that we don't have so many licenses required from different places. Many investors may not be comfortable with so many licenses, so we'll be able to come up with a one-stop approach in terms of looking at some of the requirements of licensing. That would be one of the things that I'll do. In terms of the Hustler Fund and our preparedness, I will ensure that we get into what we call as a registration process so that we have all the businesses registered, so that we have got a database of some of the businesses, so that as we move to talking about accessing or getting support from the PC from the Hazardous Fund, we are prepared in terms of circles, in terms of organizations, in terms of registration of organizations, etc. So that make sure that we are prepared before the fund is available. Thank you, sir.
Yes, Honorable Dr. Ndemo, we have got only one question to you. What are you going, if you are now approved to be the CC trade, I believe you will work hand in hand with the CC agriculture in order for you to revive the factories. But then, you find a mama from the village sells their cucumbers all over with trucks, collecting avocado, ndizi, miwa, and all these things. But one bunch of banana, they buy it at only 200 shillings. While a kilo is supposed to go for about 1,200 or 1,700. But a mama at home, because she doesn't have money, then she has to give her a throwaway price. Which mechanism are you going to use so that these mamas can have money in their pocket? Are you going to increase the cess? Are you going to put the cess? Or what are you going to do to make sure that the avocado the mamas plant at home give them value?
But you could allow me on the same I add so that you can answer them. Yeah, I was going to the issue of soft stone from Saudi Grango,
Yes.
the gold. Middlemen are also eating up on the local money. And some of the soft stone goes abroad and comes back to us. We buy what has left our country. What are you going to do to ensure the local money benefits from the soft stone so that those people who toil there all day can be able to benefit from this?
I think they are all conjoined together, but I'll answer them differently. One, I'll start with the one on the banana business. There is a possibility that with your support, we will come with a protective mechanism on how we can protect our local businesses. What do I mean? What I basically mean is that we can introduce a tariff mechanism, making sure that if anybody is coming outside this county, has to pay some kind of tax. Now that tax, if regulated properly, will be able to come back to benefit that money who is registered. Remember I talked about that, who is registered in a specific circle or a specific organization. That notwithstanding, we will have to organize and have a participation approach with the people, the traders themselves, so that we can agree on the mechanism on how we can roll it out. So that we don't have to impose a legislation on them, but we need to make sure that it is coming from them. Ours will be able to facilitate, making sure we make it easy for them. Regarding the soapstones, it's also the same. We need to indulge in a deliberate effort on creating what we call as industrializing soapstone. We are the only country, a country actually in Africa, if I'm not wrong, that actually has soapstone type we have. So we will be able to deliberately talk to the people who are producing soapstone to come together as a group, form some kind of organization that actually comes up with rules on how we are going to do the harvesting of the soapstone. And then from there, as a government, we will be able to give them legislation to protect their inputs and outputs, so that we don't have them selling their products at a lower price, making sure that in the process, we shall be able to have, for example, investors who want to come and build factories around, that will produce employment for us and also help us in terms of production and also in giving us the benefits also of what you see comes back from abroad. Yes.
I have just one question. My question is concerning the market. There's a lot of
Markets.
There's a lot of salt market close to the county. Since 2014 up to date, what is your take in case you are given a job as the CC.
Critical, and as my honorable member asked earlier about what I can go from Dubai. There should be some kind of deliberate approach in making sure that we reorganize this town so that we can create space for the traders to work from one specific place so that we can get them from the streets. But we must have a discussion with the people. We agree that this has to be done and how it will be done. It should be noticed and it has to be done in a proper way. But they must be able to give consent. But slowly we have to give them some kind of incentives that they don't lose. They don't have to kind of mapping of the town.
I come from South Africa, and the main product that we produce there, we are farmers, and we do sugarcane planting. Now, of late we have been having issues with our factories. And these factories, one is in Rift Valley, and another one is in Luo Nyanza. So, Daktari, I want to ask, what policies can you come up to make sure that the farmers in South Mogirango can be able to sell their products on time so that they can avoid the risk of our sugarcane overstaying at the gardens, hence giving us losses. The other question is, when you come to Kisii, or when you talk about Kisii, there's one thing that comes in mind. One of the things, Kisii is an island, and the other thing that comes, Kisii is a green land, and the other thing that comes in mind is Matoke. I want to ask you if you can really tell us what else can we use to market our county outside. Maybe when you are going to, when you are in another county, you say that you come from Kisii, we can have some identification that adds value to our country. For example, soapstone. Now I want you to give us other things that we can add value, that when you are outside our county, you can also be proud of. Am I clear?
I'll try to answer that, yes, because I think I've captured what you want. Yes. Let me start from the last question. It is all about investment and also about tourism. We're talking about how can we market our products, what can we do? I believe that's what you're asking. And I'm also believing that you're asking what else can we sell to other people from Kisii. We are marathoners, previously. We have the likes of the that is a talent that we're going to tap into in recent times. So we can actually explore into that. Secondly, regarding we have all the avocado industry. We have a lot of avocado we are producing around here. We can get into agribusiness industrial development. Try to think about what we can do. There is also a question about in terms of our culture. We have a culture which we need to tap into, revive it, and use it to sell as part of our leverage thing. The other question you asked is about sugar. I'm aware that we have got problems about our exploration about our sugar exploitation, too much drying in the factories, and that's not getting even the sugar gets bad in the farms, not harvest in time. The only thing I would want to do, and of course with your help as honorable members, is to ask you to assist us in having some budget provisions so that we can have a partner whom we can partner with in reviving this sugar factory, so that we can be producing our own sugar from South Africa. Because I know what is happening is the people who are doing it are maybe based in South Nyanza, That's I think from Kisumu. So I mean from Kisumu, somewhere there. So the argument is sometimes they don't even harvest the sugar. They process the sugar from other places. I'm sure that we'll be able to do a deliberate effort in trying to put a lot of investment in the industry as we produce our own sugar.
Ismail, you have talked about industry. So, what is this that you are coming with it in Kisii County government, considering that many traders in Kisii are only engaging themselves in small businesses, avocados, sukuma wiki, blah blah, and there is this line of business which lies in your ministry, industrialization. How are you going to help our people from Kisii to tap into this particular line of business so that their livelihood can come up?
Important that we empower our people. They must understand that when they work together as a team, they stand a better chance to participate in competition. That is why we have brought the small-scale businesses and large-scale business having a problem, because the large-scale business have got an advantage of access to facilities. But when we empower them, we educate them, we give them the knowledge about what they need to do, we train them, they will be able to understand how they can get benefit from a group. When you form a group, you are able to access facilities like financing, training, demos, etc. So my effort will be to leverage all my abilities and my networks into investors, people I have been able to access before through my history, and make sure that I bring them on board to come and help us to improve our industrialization policy.
Thank you.
What are the key areas, 3 of them, that you are going to focus on because you come to the office? Just briefly, you can name them.
Number one is on policy. As a trade industry, we must be grounded on a very specific policy and deliberate policy to improve on our people. That's number one. Number two is partnerships. It's important to talk to our partners, both in the private sector and the donor community, to assist us on how we can industrialize. And finally is empowerment, taking our people through a process of getting to understand trading patterns, trying to understand what happens around them from other continents and other counties.
Thank you. Thank you. Dr. Thank you for participating in this product exercise. But before we finish, I want to give you 2 minutes. If you have any comments, you can share with the committee, or any question, you can ask. Just 2 minutes.
Thank you, Chairman. I have just a comment just to make, just in my submission of this interaction. We have a potential as a county that we can leverage on in terms of what we can do to our people. Number one, it's important also to notice that it is the people that contribute to this development concept we were talking about. The means of trade, in my opinion, is a good source of income. And the much needed resources of revenue can only and easily be accessed from trading programs. My interest is to contribute my knowledge, my networks, and my abilities in making sure that we harness all the resources that we have in making Kisii great. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Dr. Thank you very much. And I wish you the best of luck. Make sure that you have taken your original certificates, and now the carry, you are free to leave. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
They have been very friendly and very, very professional. Maswali yabo arama are focused, aru ngeini, aru chesaru chuchia. Na nago kiagera maswali ba buri na maswali ya marungi. Inkinda abakore county, na kinde prepared okore gasi county, na ndingia ke ni county. Na vere siringa county yaitu ntubwate potential yo gukora buya gwithana tokora bona na indo kugani gwaitu nkuringa tonyore chance tukorera abantu aminte egasi ya gusi no twestomete gusi aiga tumaite mejando yaitu toteme as tukunyara tokore ikitura nyare na ndikikaniri igia kabiri abantu baminta ko ngabaheshimiwa aba nabo bari enguo yaitu bintu byose tujokora gutububuri nandi naberesanga ntuitu kuona totabe tubasabe bari chiko mwiti amachiko tokore gasi.
Mheshimiwa, maybe what is your expectation going since we are navigating the process ya wechiri you expect at the end of it?
Bona ntutu tukanyite kwa gotoe gasi na gutokore gasi tokora wananchi gasi kwa nguvu zetu zote wananchi wote tohane gasi yaitu ne kuwa wetu wensi tubeke kiringitu kionse tubwate okore gasi ngia
ngati maswali yako ngati yabo ngani substance ya tabakariga abego mugusina begana te kumana ki prani oni rire igabre
tabaka wika turende abantu bamintu bakoruya sawa tabaka tubarende tubaroserie environment ingi yaswa bakore biasara byabo to make sure nga bari bacha kugura biasara byabo barue engeri isaine ere equivalent ne biasara biri barakorera na bara utobekera machiko bako make sure nga no bakurusha magenaria make sure environment ngutikare bwira tubasuko ba atalia sabantu bamintu.
Thank you Mheshimiwa and we wish all the best.
Diamond, thank you.